Hi, my special friends. It's so great to have you. Um, Welcome to another one of our inspiring thought Thursdays. And as you know, we love to be here with you every Thursday to inspire you, to share some hints and tips, to motivate you, to cheer you on as you step up with, sharing your voice in a greater way, with being more visible. And this is why we come here together every Thursday, so that I can serve and support you in the best way. We can connect, we can stick our minds and hearts together. And as you know, right now, we are going through a series of what can you do to become more visible. And we're talking about what are these visibility villains that kind of lurk in the back, that hold us back from really stepping out, sharing our voice, sharing our message in a greater way, so that we touch more minds and hearts and we connect with more people so they know us, they trust us, they like us, and they want to work with us. So I would like to know, you know that I love to also hear from you. What is going on in your mind and heart? What is your focus in your business right now? Where do you need help and support? And I would like to know right now, if you think about it yourself and your business, how visible are you right now in your market? How well known are you in your market? If you, hand on heart, if you say, well, I'm not very known, so maybe rate your scale of self on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 would mean I'm not known at all. 5 would mean I'm, pretty much every influencer, a lot of people out there know me. Where are you with that, right? I'd like to know where you are right now. And then once you know where you are right now, the question is, where do you want to be? Like in 3 months from now, where would you like to be? I would like to hear from you. So put your number into the chat. And the question really is, what would it mean to you if you were more visible? What would it mean to you if people out there would speak about you and rave about you and tell their friends and, people in their network about you? What would that mean to you personally? What would it mean to your business? And, what we are discussing right now and what we've been talking about the last 2 weeks was really like, what are these villains that lurk in the back, these visibility villains that really hold us back from stepping out in a greater way? The first one we spoke about procrastination, right? What's holding us back. And then the second one was all about fear, and we kind of went through the eagle approach last week that helps you to master any fear. So if you haven't watched it yet, walk back into it and enjoy watching that still. And the one I'd like to address today is really, it's really the aspect of overthinking. A lot of people are overthinking, and because they're overthinking, what happens, right? I mean, we've all been there, right? You know that you should do something to get more visible, to share your voice in a greater way more often, more consistently. You want to show up in a greater way because you want to bring that extra cash in your business, you want to attract new clients, and still you're holding back sharing your message. Why is that? A lot of people really overthink things. You know that you should be doing something and you're not doing it. Why is that? And the thing is, the longer you linger in that space of overthinking things, the more time you waste really getting out there and attracting the people you really want to know about you. And if they don't know you, of course, they'll never work with you, right? So, when are moments when we are overthinking? Of course, there is the big time of I'm having an idea and I really would like to make that happen, right? It's the before we take action. And I would like to know, in the past, where have you been overthinking things? Where have you had an idea and you didn't start? Can you just say yes, me, if that's you? Have you had an idea in the past where you thought, I should do something on YouTube, I should set up my YouTube channel, or I should post something, or I should start setting up a newsletter, or I should step onto more stages and speak, or I should go out there and network more, and then maybe days, weeks, or even month after you realize you haven't really done any of this? Can you just put into the chat and say, yes, me, if that's you, if you've had an idea and you didn't take action on that idea? I think we've all been there, right? And often that is because we are overthinking things. Before we even start, we want to have the whole path mapped out, and we want to know all the details on the way. And because we don't have them, that's why we are never getting started, right? And the other moment when we are overthinking things is, even when we are starting something, like especially when you want to get more visible and you want to, you want to do more marketing and you want to get your voice out there in a greater way, right? The other way of overthinking is really the moment when you want to create that next video, that next audio, that next podcast, that next post, whatever you're creating, right? I mean, Anita, Ulrike, and everyone that is with us today, can you just share with me, where are you overthinking when it comes to creating something? A lot of people really ask so many questions like, I don't know what my message is, and say, yes, me, if, any kind of these thoughts that go through your mind, when you recognize them, just in the chat, post, yes, that's me, right? I mean, where people think about, I don't know what my message is, I don't know what I should speak about, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to say it, or I don't know where to get it out in the greatest way, which channels to communicate on, or, what is the best way of publishing, and, how do I get it out in the greatest way, and how do then I promote my message? If that is you, to say, yes, that's me. And you know what, we've all been there, right? I mean, all these questions go through our mind, because they go through our mind, we're not actually creating anything. Because again, or we are creating something and we are not getting getting it out, right? So how many of you have ever created something and then you felt like, I didn't press the publish button, right? I mean, you created these posts or these videos and you never actually published them, and they're still sitting in your, on your shelf somewhere, and no one had a chance to learn from you because you never shared them. This is the third way of where people really overthink things. It's like, should I really publish it? Is this good enough, right? So here is some suggestions on my side of what you can do to stop overthinking. So you stop overthinking to get you started, to really get you to create your next piece of information you want to inspire people with, and to really also press the publish button so that you're not procrastinating on that anymore. So, I know that there's probably 4 things that stand in the way of us, to really stop overthinking. I mean, I call them the 4 P's of overthinking. And what you want to do is you want to turn the 4 P's of overthinking into 4 cheerleaders of overthinking that start with the letter A. So you want to turn the 4 P's into the 4 A's, right? So what are these 4 P's? Let's go for the first one. The first one is really panic, right? I mean, why do people overthink? It's panic. And again, panic is pretty much, it's deeper, and often it's unconscious, and it's really the fear, right? It's really the fear to do it wrong, to be judged. It's very related to the visibility villain that we spoke about last time. And you might want to watch that Facebook Live from last week again to really learn how to master all your fears. But here are 2 that I would like to really highlight to you again. If you're afraid and you feel like you're overthinking things because you're afraid that you're not talking about the right thing in the right way and people might judge you, what you want to do is, again, keep your eyes on what you want, right? Keep your eyes on what you want. Keep your eyes on, say, okay, I want to inspire people. I want to attract new people to my business. I love to attract clients easier so that I can really make a bigger difference in their life, in their work, in their business. Right? In my case, I mean, I'm sharing this with you right now because I love to see you to step up and share your message in a greater way so that you touch more lives, you attract more clients more easily, you can really make a bigger impact in people's lives, right? So, this is the first one. Really ask yourself, what do you want? Keep your eyes on that, and then really also focus on the people you want to serve. It's all about them. It's not about you. You overthinking things, you holding yourself back with sharing your message with the world means that you're not getting it out. Meaning that You have a powerful message and advice and experience and stories that could inspire others. But by you overthinking and holding back, they will never hear what they need to hear in that moment, right? So that is fear. So that is panic. So you want to turn the panic into appreciation. So love yourself up, appreciate your own message, appreciate what you know, and appreciate the people that can benefit from hearing from you, right? The second P that holds a lot of people back and, makes them overthink things is perfection. And that's probably the biggest one, right? You've heard about a perfectionism trap, right? And a lot of people are actually being stuck in there. And, again, it's all these questions that come into our mind where people say, oh, you know what, I need to have the perfect message spread in the perfect way, use the perfect language, and share it in the perfect way. And that's not the case, right? So just ask yourself the one question, like, what is it that I can share today? What is one message I can share today? And let me give you some suggestions here. If you are someone, a lot of people come to me and say, well, Monique, but I don't know what my message is and I don't know what I can share, and can you help me find some ideas or what I can share with my precious target audience? And, again, all really very successful marketers say, you don't want to create content, you rather want to document what you're going through, because that is authentic, right? I repeat that. You don't want to create content, you want to document what you're going through, right? I mean, you know that I'm a speaker and normally I'm traveling around the world and, I speak all over. And we as speakers, we have one saying, and that is life is speech material, right? Every day you learn something new. You read something that inspires you. You go through some kind of mindset shift. I mean, yesterday already I went through several big mindset shifts, some insights, situations that I've been in that made me reflect on things. And that made me start seeing things in a different way. So again, use your life and ask yourself, every day ask yourself, what have I learned today? In what way do I start seeing things differently? What has inspired me today? What has made me laugh, right? What had an impact on me in my life today? And start documenting that. And then really don't overthink things. Just share one of these learnings and insights with the world in a quick social media post. If you do that every day, think about it. You share your voice every day, 365 days a year. People will, there's no other way, they will start paying attention to you, right? So, as we say, don't create, rather document. So I invite you, start documenting what you learn, what inspires you, and you will never run out of material to really share something with the world, right? And if you think about it, so many people are doing it, very successful people. I have a friend, a great friend of mine, his name is John Zimmer. John, I'm honoring you here right now. And John created actually, a blog called Manners of Speaking. He helps people to speak in a greater way. And he just posted whatever he picked up and he learned, and he shared that on a regular basis. And he's been doing that for the last 11 years now. And he had more than 4 million people watching it or reading it and diving into it, right? If you think about it, that's 4 million over 10 years. That is 400,000 every year, right? That is pretty much more than 100 every day. So if you just start sharing something, you stop overthinking, just share what's going through your mind and heart, and or pick up things that you read in media or something else and add your own perspective to it. People want to learn. They want to hear that. They want to be inspired by you. They want to be motivated by you, right? So if you do it this way, you'll never overthink again, and you'll never run out of ideas of what to share, right? And just keep in mind, right, when it comes to perfection, there's this beautiful saying, imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. And I'm going to give you a little task at the end of our session today, where I invite you to start taking imperfect action right away today. So hold on to that. I'll share that with you at the end so we can play together and make sure that You stop beating the perfectionism trap, and you stop overthinking, and you get out there more in a greater way. So that is the first 2P. The first one was panic, fear. You can overcome that by appreciating yourself, what you know, and the people you want to share it with. The second one is really perfection. You turn it into imperfect action. Okay. The third one is, why a lot of people overthink is like they try to predict what's going to happen. So the third P, the third visibility villain around overthinking things is that people try to predict what has to happen as a result of the action they're taking, right? They say, hey, you know what? I mean, of course, there's nothing wrong with setting goals. There's absolutely nothing wrong with setting a clear intention. It's really important. But what you then want to do, you want to detach. A lot of people say, well, you know what? I want to post on a regular basis, and in a month, I want to have 10,000 people watching it, right? Again, yes, you want to do it, but bring your heart into it and detach from the number, right? Because a lot of people try to predict the result, and then they overthink, what can I do in what way to create that result? And again, that if they don't see the result in a short period of time, they're giving up, and you don't want that, right? And again, what you rather want to do is accept what's coming your way. You know why you do it. As we said earlier, you're clear on what you want to get out of it, and you're clear even more so on why do you want to make an impact in other people's life. And that is the motivation, that's the engine for you to keep doing it. I mean, you don't want to do things that are not working after a long period of time. You want to set yourself what we call a stop loss, right? But you need to keep doing it for a certain amount of times to really see if it works. So if you start posting, don't stop posting after 2 weeks because you don't have 1,000 followers yet, right? Keep doing it for a certain time and then see how numbers are going up and fine-tune things as you do. So again, don't overthink because you really think about how can I really get and meet this specific goal? Turn the prediction trap into acceptance. Say, you know what, I'm going to do it and I'm going to serve in the greatest way I can. And then I accept what's coming my way. And if it's not working, well, again, there's either, as we say, there's never failure. There's, we either succeed or we learn, right? So again, don't try to predict and attach to results, rather detach and accept what's coming your way and embrace it as learning and embrace it as, whatever it is that you're gaining from it. And then really the last one is really, the last P is kind of the summary of the first 3P, like the panic, the perfection, the prediction. If we get stuck on these, we keep overthinking, then there's one thing we don't do, and that's the 4th P, that's prohibition, right? We don't give ourselves permission, we prohibit to actually take action in the first place and to follow through and to create our content and to publish it, right? So you need to turn the prohibition into allowing, right? Allow yourself to give it a try. When you have an idea, don't overthink it. Take the first step and see what happens. Allow yourself to take action. Allow yourself to play. Allow yourself not to succeed the first time you do it. Allow yourself to learn. And eventually also allow yourself to succeed, right? So these are the 4P that I would like to share with you today. As I said, let go of panic, let go of fear, and rather focus on appreciation, right? And let go of perfection and rather embrace imperfect action. Let go of prediction and rather accept what's coming your way. And give yourself permission and let go of prohibition. Give yourself permission and allow to learn, allow to expand, allow success to come slowly, and eventually, it will come faster over time, right? So what I invite you to do is, every time I love us to also not just think things through, but really take action. So I'm your greatest cheerleader to make sure that you do turn your learning into action. You start doing something in a concrete way. And that is really, I'm asking you today is, what are you willing to do today, right here, right now, today, that will be an imperfect action, even if it's not perfect yet, right? What are you willing to do today? And I'd like to hear from all of you, what are you willing to do today? Even though you feel like it's not perfect, but you start taking your ideas seriously, you start taking action on them, you start being creative around them, and then you just get it out there and you share it with the world. What is one thing you're willing to share today, right? And I see that some of you say, yes, these are great thoughts, or what we're sharing here is inspiring. And, Anita loves the live speech material, right? So I'd like to know from you, what is one thing you're doing today, even though it's not perfect? What are you, and it's not only doing, what is one thing you're willing to publish today, even though it's not perfect? And if you feel too stretched for today, well, we can include tomorrow, right? Maybe the day you find the idea and you get it, you create it and get it out tomorrow. So I'd really like to know, what is that you're creating today, where you're taking imperfect action on to share it with us and in the world. So we are here in the HeartPowered Global Nation, and the good news is this is your space to try things out, to step out of your comfort zone. So I invite you to, whatever you are creating, whatever you are sharing, in this in this post underneath, in the comments, share with us what you've shared. We'd love to love you up, right? We'd love to see what you're doing. We'd love to cheer you on. We'll put our comments and our love on that. So, just share with us, what is the one thing, based on you stopping to overthink, you start to take action. What's the one thing you are willing to do to get out there in an imperfect way today or tomorrow? We'd love to learn from you. The next thing is also, as you know, and you've heard me speak about it and you're probably already aware, is next week we're going to finally open doors to our Visibility Booster workshop. So at the end of November, early of December, we're going to run a 5-day Visibility Booster workshop. And I know that a lot of you are already very excited to join us, to really say, hey, I'm ready to step up. I want to really learn what I can do to get more visible, to get more known, to get more loved in my market, in the field where I am. I'd love to become an outstanding thought leader, and I know for being an outstanding thought leader, I shouldn't only have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. You also want to make sure that you are sharing your wisdom and knowledge with the world in a consistent way, in a way that it attracts clients easier and faster. So we're going to open the doors to our Visibility Booster workshop next week. So keep an eye on that. Here in the HeartPowered Global Nation, we will share it with you, and you will be the first that get invited to join us. So we look forward to have you on board. And of course, as every week, we share again next week. We're going to be here with you on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. And we will be sharing with you another Inspiring Thought Thursday, inspirational message. Again, we want to motivate you and cheer you on. And next Thursday, we'll talk about another visibility villain, and that is inconsistency, right? I mean, probably one of the biggest killers of getting visible is people share something from time to time, but they're not doing it regularly and consistently. So next week, we're going to talk about how can you start enjoying being visible on a regular basis and sharing on a regular basis your powerful message, advice, and wisdom with people out there that are really needing your advice and your support, right? So next week we talk about how do you actually really become consistent, you enjoy getting your messages out on a regular basis. And until then, again, we look forward to have you on with us next week. We look forward to really hear from you in the meantime. How are you actually starting to take more imperfect action right now? Again, in the post underneath, share with us what are you willing to do to take imperfect action right now. And again, keep an eye out. Next week we're going to share with you when we open doors to our Visibility Booster workshop, and we'd love to have you on 5 days, every day, just a tiny task for you to take to really boost your visibility in a greater way. Okay, good. So, and I see people celebrating here. Anita saying, yes, I'll be back. We'll be back. I look forward to have you back, Anita, as well with us. And thank you for saying that this is really inspiring and empowering you. And this is our intention. We love to inspire and empower you because we believe and we know you have a powerful message to share. You run an incredible business and you're doing it because you want to make an impact in the world. And we're here to help you step up in a much greater way. Okay? So let's play on that. Let's start taking quite some imperfect action in the next week. Stop overthinking and share our wisdom with the world in a greater way. Look forward to hear from you what you're gonna do, and we'll be in touch in the meantime. So Ulrike and and Tinkade, and great to have you all. It's great to see you again with us, and I know some of you have been with us also in the past, and we'd love to have you on board. And just share with us what's happening in your business. Where do you need help? Where do you need help with stepping up and getting more visible? We are here to guide and support and cheer you on. Okay, great. So have a fabulous week, and I can't wait until next Thursday to see you again. In the meantime, keep in mind, we're going to open the doors to our Visibility Booster workshop with you at the end of November, and you'll be the first to join us. Okay, have a great time until then, and all the best. We'll be in touch. Bye.